And welcome back. If you remember the last video, we were putting on the Billet Technologies upgrade items, or dress-up items as I like to call them, which was a fuse box cover, a supercharger coolant tank cover and cap, as well as we talked about this cover here, which is the radiator reservoir cover, and you can see we've gotten it installed. And like I said in the previous video, it does fit. It's a bit snug because in this particular design of a Hellcat, this air box gives it a nice, tight, secure fit. And the only issue I had with it, and I did email Billet about this, and they said that it shouldn't be an issue. And you can see that where this cover sits, it pushes this pipe up out of this holder that would normally rest in this little notch here. And we did also put the dress-up cap on it as well, as you can see here. Now you'll notice this one is right straight up and down versus the one for the supercharger coolant tank. And the reason why that is, it had to do with the way the factory cap locks into the tank. In other words, how many turns it takes in order to get it to go tight. In this particular case here, it lines up correctly with the indentations into the cap where you put the cover on it. And that one there, again, it's no fault of the Billet Technologies cover. It's just the way that the factory cap underneath of it actually locks into the reservoir tank. But in this case, it did work out quite well. So you can see, as we were saying, that the pipe is kind of out of this half clip holder. And I did email Billet Technologies on it, like I said earlier. It shouldn't be an issue, because you can see the pipe is kind of resting now on the corner of this cover. And it just barely touches this add-on cap here. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. If that becomes an issue or a potential wear or rub point, what I'm thinking of doing is this. You've got enough play in this pipe, you can kind of push it out as you see me doing here, and then just secure it to the edge of its old holder. And you can kind of see that gives you a much wider gap between the two. And I may just zip tie this here just to kind of hold it in place, unless I can come up with another way of kind of redirecting this hard pipe. But I'm going to leave it like this right now. As you can see, it does rest comfortably there. But if it does become some kind of wear, then we'll make another video and we'll see what we can do to address it. But as for now, the piece is in. As you can see, it fits quite well, looks good. Now you may or may not also have this fitment piece here, and again, it's nothing to do with the cover, it's the way the factory clamp is that this clamp here off the factory hose was butted up all the way against the reservoir, and it was causing it to hit the cutout that Billet Technologies put in to account for this hose. So the ears on this clamp were way back here. So I just did have to loosen this clamp up a little bit and back it out just slightly so that the edge of the cover would clear it, and that would not be an obstruction. But it is in. It looks good, but I wanted to give you that little bit of an update that we did contact Billet. They didn't think it would be too much of an issue or an issue at all. But I will keep an eyeball on it, and I will keep you appraised if that becomes any kind of a rub issue in the future. But that's it for now, and I will chat at you later.